Social media is a tool used for polarizing political discussions. Some put up photos of their favorite meals. It's a forum with many faces. Tonight we speak with one man who's taken to Twitter to share his very personal experience living with terminal cancer. His posts include candid takes of his reality. He's even managed to find some humor in death. There's also this. He's taken the time to share his story with us, even though doctors believe he only has weeks to live.
I'm Mike Sloan. I live in London, Ontario, and I've been diagnosed with anaplastic thyroid cancer. It's been amazing how it's changed my life. Of course, it's not great because I'm not going to live through it, but it's made it much more enjoyable.
Not exactly the words you'd expect to hear from someone diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, though that's Mike Sloan's outlook. You can hear the disease in his voice when he speaks. It's closing in around his throat, but he makes it clear that it doesn't hurt. The 49-year-old isn't very close with his immediate family, though he says he's blessed with many friends. You'll find some of their names are written on tape, already pasted to personal items they'll receive when he passes on.
I've already given away my TV that at one time sat right there.
Sloan now finds himself spending most of his screen time in front of his computer in his apartment, where he lives with his 30-pound cat Chub. It's his favorite place because it's where he can share his journey with the world.
I've always been kind of a smartass.
Mike Sloan doesn't have a spouse or kids, and he admits it allows for a different perspective when coming to terms with his own mortality. Some might be put off by his dark sense of humor, but tells us 90% of his posts receive positive feedback, like this one.
What a relief. It's not like I'm gonna have to buy new snow tires this year. That was quite popular. People enjoyed that one. This is funny to me. The person who will be my cat's new owner said to me, I'm going to put him on a diet. I said, good luck with that.
You think it's important to find some levity?
Well, I think it was Joan Rivers who once said, you have to be able to laugh through tough experiences.
Though not all of Mike's messages are tongue-in-cheek, some offer a heartfelt glimpse into the thought process of a man who knows his time is coming to an end.
It's important to remember that besides this unfortunate thing, being the cancer, I've had a great life. There's never been a shortage of laughs, fun, and adventure.
Why do you believe so many people have followed along with your journey?
If you talk about things that have happened in your life, people will come along for the ride and will share their stories as well.
Do you believe that death is something we should talk about more?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think keeping it taboo is what keeps us fearful of it.
The native of Lakefield, Ontario, near Peterborough, says he's thankful to have had the time to reconnect with friends from years ago and make amends with some too, though he's clearly emotional about having to say goodbye.
I feel that's the work I have to do.
5 days ago, you were delivered some news.
Given what's happening, I would say 6 to 10 weeks is likely the time you've got left.
How did you receive that news?
Another palliative care doctor said, that must have been like a gut punch. And I said, no, not really. I mean, I know time's coming to a close. I can feel it here.
Mike says he doesn't fear death, though he does fear dying from asphyxiation, one possible outcome of the cancer closing in. So he's decided to go out on his own terms.
Mike is a guy who's been in charge of his life, and he now gets the chance to do that when the time comes that he decides that he's had enough.
Dr. John Clifford will be medically assisting Mike with his death. Has Mike discussed some of the parameters around how he'd like his death to be handled?
We've talked about that.
Gonna have some friends over. There'll be beer. And now that marijuana's legal, I have I can't skip out on that. I've mentioned finger foods. But I don't want it to be a sad thing.
You have about 3,000 people following you on Twitter. Some of them, many of them, you've never met before. There's thousands of more people watching you tonight. What would you like people to know about Mike Sloan?
If I were to say anything, that I'm no different than anyone else. Of course, my personality may be slightly different. I might have made different life choices, but we are all going to have to face end of life. So take the time to think about it and enjoy whatever time you have.
Mike Sloan says he's in no rush to die. He believes his body will let him know when it's time to choose medically assisted death. He guesses maybe that will come in mid-October, though he's not quite sure. He's already defied the odds thus far. In London, Ontario, I'm Adrian Gobriel for City News.